story appears ordinary until you see the core side of it.
And what you're looking for is the story behind the news.
We bring it to you from Lagos, the commercial capital of Nigeria.
Giving you all sides and political stories round the clock.
Every detail from the start line to the final whistle.
CoreTV News, expanding your view.
Hello there and welcome to CoreTV News at 7 with me, Sabena Izoku. The defense authorities have declared missing an aircraft of the Nigerian Air Force in Adamawa State. The director of the Defense Information, Chris Olukolade, says in an electronic mail that the aircraft, an Alpha jet, has been missing since Friday, the 12th of September 2014. Olukolade said the aircraft left Yola by 10:45 a.m. on an operational mission and was expected back to base by 12 p.m. same day, but has not been found. Adding that the aircraft had 2 pilots on board. The defense spokesman says the military had started search and rescue efforts meant to establish contact for the crew. President Goodluck Jonathan has assured military personnel of government's commitment to improving their welfare. He also revealed that the government will soon come up with a program to honor fallen military personnel. The president made the promise while addressing graduating military cadets during the combined passing out parade from the Nigerian Defense Academy. He commended the Nigerian Defense Academy for churning out highly disciplined military officers, but also charged the newly commissioned officers to exhibit high sense of professionalism in the course of their military career. A total of 114 cadets and another 213 short service Army cadets were commissioned as officers. 20 of the new officers were cadets from Liberia and Central African Republic. In a related issue, the federal government is contemplating the establishment of new special brigade forces in addition to the existing forces under the Nigerian Armed Forces. President Goodluck Jonathan said this was needed to combat new security challenges in the country. The president spoke on Saturday at the passing out parade of officers cadet of the 61 regular course and the short service course 42 at the Nigerian Defense Academy, Kaduna. He added that the establishment of the new special forces was to enable the nation's army to be more alive to its responsibility of protecting Nigerian citizens. Nigeria's army authorities have decorated some of the officers and men that were injured during the ongoing war against insurgents. They also insisted that Boko Haram members are not better equipped than the government troops. Chief of Army Staff Lieutenant General Kenneth was at the head of the army team that visited the injured soldiers at the Army Reference Hospital in Kaduna. 170 soldiers were on admission, but only 3 officers and 57 soldiers are still receiving treatment.
Do they have ship? Do they have aircraft? Do they have helicopters? Do they have, even what they have are those things that were stolen? So they cannot be more sophisticated. They don't have more sophisticated.
So why can't you?
When you were able to capture prisoners, that they become prisoners of war. If you don't capture them, if they are killed in action, then you don't have any prisoners of war.
The National Hospital has handed over donations it received on behalf of the Yanyamon victims to them. The 3.6 million naira was dispersed to 30 survivors of the 2 bomb attacks that were treated at the hospital. The hospital management had earlier handed over 2 million naira to some of the bomb victims. The report.
These are some of the victims of 2 recent bomb attacks in Yanya, a suburb of the Federal Capital Territory. Until now, they had been getting material assistance from individuals while undergoing treatment at the National Hospital. But today, the hospital management is disbursing 3.6 million naira received on behalf of the bomb victims from individuals and groups. 54 victims were brought to the hospital for treatment, but 30 are benefiting, while others have had their share before now.
The list of those who made the donations are: number 1, the All Progressive Governor's Forum, Senator Smart Adeyemi, Chairman, Senate Committee on the Federal Capital Territory, Nigerian Environmental Society, Church of Nigeria Anglican Communion, the Cherubim and Seraphim Church, the Supreme Bible Club, academic staff Union of Nigeria.
Now it is time for the victims to receive their donations, and one after the other, they filed out.
Those who donated for the bombing victims will give you the total donation. Thank you. Of the donors.
Some of the victims told CoreTV News that several months after the bombings, the memory is still fresh in their minds.
The discharge when the doctor went on strike, so they leave us there. So, and in our ward, I'm the only person that remains there. So we stay up to 1 month and 2 weeks. Yes, my mother, she tired, and she said that she want to go home. Before then, there was iron on my leg, because my leg break 2 places. So the doctor now came, he asked for the X-ray. We now told him that they said that the result is not out, that he should go there and view it there. So when he went there and he viewed it there, he saw the leg, he said the leg is not okay, that they should put POP for the leg. So they now put the POP, so he now discharged us.
I live for Nyanya, but I just go meet my sister for central area here. I enter motor, say I go see my sister. My sister will come and say I go see, and the pikin nowhere. I said to I no go work today. My auntie no there for house. I said to I try enter motor go see my sister. The pikin nowhere. I just enter motor come here. I enter machine come here. I come drop for Nyanya. I say I enter motor. Mama, I can't tell me, say, I no enter motor. Hi, the thing, Mama, I can't tell me like this. Before I know, say, I put my leg for inside motor. The thing can't affect me, enter my body. Carry me go one place, I know the time. I see myself for ground. One day I say, hi God, thank God for my life.
Johanna is one of the survivors of the April 14 bombing. He has spent 5 months at the hospital, but still needs a bone surgery to make him walk again.
Since this incident happened on the 14th, I've been in the hospital up to now. Yesterday they discharged me. With the money they give me now, I want to, because me now, as you see now, for my leg, I still have a problem with my leg now. I have to go for the bone surgery. Why they put me this casting? There's a gap between bone for my leg, so I have to go for the bone surgery.
These bomb victims concede that they are lucky to be alive, having survived bombing that killed more than 80 people. They also hope that the donations will help them fully get back on their feet again.
Still to come, confusion in Taraba State over the return of Dambamba Santai. Stay with us.
There is an Ebola virus epidemic in some West African countries. The Nigerian government wants you to be aware and watch out against the spread of Ebola in your community. Help keep our country safe and watch out for severe cases of fever, headaches, diarrhea, chest and abdominal pain, sore throat, cough, red eyes and bleeding from the eyes, ears and nose, especially when these symptoms are found in persons coming into Nigeria from other West African countries. Protect yourself. Wash your hands regularly with soap and running water or use a hand sanitizer. Avoid contact with the blood, urine, feces or saliva of animals like bats, monkeys, gorillas, chimpanzees or infected persons. The Ebola virus is deadly. Don't catch it. Don't spread it. This message is brought to you by the Federal Ministry of Information.
Welcome back. There has been anxiety in Taraba State as ailing Governor Dambaba Santai returns to Nigeria. The ailing governor has been in and out of the state for medical treatment abroad following an air crash in Yola of the Cena 208 aircraft which he piloted. An earlier press statement by his chief press secretary, Savanos Giwa, had noted that Santai is expected to arrive Jalingo on Sunday for Monday. However, there is confusion and apprehension in Jalingo over the fate of the governor as he is expected to resume duties as executive governor of the state. The apprehension is further heightened by the order from the State Executive Council to the Speaker of the House of Assembly asking the House to set up a medical team to assess the state of health of the acting governor. Loyalists of the ailing governor are accusing acting governor Omar Garba of trying to use the investigation of assuming full executive powers by declaring the ailing governor permanently incapacitated, an accusation aides of the acting governor have vehemently denied. The national leadership of the People's Democratic Party has described the party's victory in the Katsina State Council election as an affirmation that it is on the ground in the Northwest and will clear the votes on the zone in the 2015 general elections. The party National Publicity Secretary Olisa Metu says it is a sign of party's acceptance by Nigerians and all the nooks and crannies of the country. Metu added that its overwhelming electoral victories earlier in Kaduna State and now in Katsina State clearly indicated that the PDP was on the ground in the zone and will sweep the votes not only in the Northwest but also in the entire northern region in the 2015 general election. He congratulated Governor Ibrahim Shamel of Katsina State as well as leaders and members of the PDP in the state for the successful outing. Thanking the people of Katsina State for the support expressed in the free and fair election, Metu urged the newly elected local government officers to reciprocate by working hard to ensure that their people not only continue to enjoy the benefits of having the PDP in power, but also vote en masse for it in the general elections. The Nigerian Bar Association has ordered a probe into the show of shame involving the APC and the PDP Council and the ongoing inspection of the election materials used for the August 9th governorship election in Osun State. The lawyer had engaged in war of words and fought twice at the venue of the exercise. Rashid reports that though the lawmakers have shed their swords and are ready to work according to the dictates of the profession, the embarrassment left by the ugly incidents remains a source of concern for the Nigerian Bar Association. The report.
The show of shame started as the Election Petition Tribunal granted leave to the PDP and the APC on the 27th of August to inspect the election materials used during the governorship poll.
A lawyer that knows his onion will list. Yes, now. You list. Let us know what to do. You don't know what to do. That's okay. You are also to be not tell me that. You said your way. You are idiot also. You are idiot. You are stupid. It doesn't mean. You are stupid.
There was, however, no lesson learned from the previous day's disgraceful conduct as the lawyers again threw caution to the wind and engaged in physical fight.
You can only arrest you. Can never. So you need arrest. No, then you are. Get out! Get out!
With the Nigerian Bar Association irked by this development and threatening to dangle the axe on those found culpable in the embarrassing fracas, the Attorney General and Commissioner for Justice in Osun State, Wale Afolabi, reveals counsels to both parties are now on the round table to forestall reoccurrence and to fine-tune modalities for the inspection exercise.
Lawyers should conduct themselves with decorum. You know, law is a noble profession, and people that are in the profession are noblemen. I spoke with a few of our colleagues on the need for us to have a round table, a meeting, all the lawyers going to INEC office for the inspection. So that we are going to have a round table, we are going to discuss with ourselves and resolve all issues. If there are issues, we will look into it and resolve them. It's not good, it does not portray us in good light in this state for people to be seeing it all over the world. Lawyers staging in fisticuffs, fighting themselves and holding each other's clothes. It's not too good for us, and I can assure you that it will not happen again.
Notwithstanding the roundtable solution, all eyes are focused on the outcome of the NBA probe. Rashid, CoreTV News, Oshubo.
As part of efforts to curb the scourge of the deadly Ebola virus disease, the Apapa division of the Lagos State branch of the Nigerian Red Cross, in conjunction with the Nigerian music group Lamborghini and Clay, created awareness of the disease and distributed over 300 free hand sanitizers to residents of Nanti Village and Snake Island in the area. Motayo Alo was on the Snake Island where the exercise took place and filed in this report.
Getting set for a boat trip to Nanti Village, distance will actually not be a barrier to spread the message on the Ebola virus and of course to sensitize the people over across this water on how deadly the Ebola virus disease is and ways of preventing it. Prior to the sensitization, the residents of Nanti community have little or no knowledge of the Ebola disease and what hand sanitizers are used for. But after the sessions on hand washing exercise, lectures on Ebola and demonstrations on the use of hand sanitizers, these residents now have a different story to tell.
The elementary knowledge we ought to have has been given to us today, so it's a nice one.
After this lecture, it's like helping people, giving them tutorials, making them to know that life is so much long for you to just lose in a very short while.
One of the community's leaders says it would ensure the residents take the regular cleaning of the environment in order to prevent the disease.
I think the Minister of Health has spoken about the accord. People are prioritizing for it today, so we think our head is very high.
The traditional head of the community advised Nigerians to emulate the artists and Red Cross Society in the campaign against Ebola.
Anything it tells us to do, like washing hands and wash well with clean water and soap and the cream, I believe, by the grace of God, we will not see something like Ebola.
These twin artists also lend their support to the campaign.
So what we tell them that, okay, this is how you sensitize yourself, this is how to take a proper eye. So we need more artists, to show more interest and then to be particular of this project.
For the organizers, the campaign to Nanti community was undertaken to address the ignorance on the part of the people, which could make them highly vulnerable to the disease.
But because of the fact that the Red Cross loves people, we love protecting people's lives. So wherever people may be found, we will take pains that would cost us to make sure that we go in there for the people to have information, because we believe that information is power, and what people have, we make sure that we pass information as expected, we groom them well.
CoreTV didn't need a special phone call from the government before they came out here to support the fight of Ebola. Let everybody stand up. Lamborghini is doing it, Clay is doing it, CoreTV is doing it, Red Cross is doing it, Jevenic Restaurant supported us, they are doing it, you are doing it, your cameraman behind there, I saw him reaching out to people. Everybody is involved. That is what I feel every Nigerian should do.
The call for more efforts will assist the government to win battle against the Ebola virus disease. Adding to the list of Nigerians who are aware of the Ebola virus and ways of preventing this disease, residents in the Nanti community's Snake Island have expressed joy to what they have learned today on preventing the Ebola virus and the use of hand sanitizers. However, the message of the organizers of this program is that government and individuals together should redouble its efforts in combating the scourge of Ebola. Omotayo Alo, CoreTV News, Lagos. The Rivers State government says it is yet to receive any monetary assistance from the federal government on the outbreak of Ebola virus disease. Rivers State Commissioner for Health, Samson Parker, raised the alarm during an interview with journalists in Abuja. Parker says the state government had received a budget of 1 billion naira from Emergency Operation Committee to fight Ebola in the state. He warned Nigerians not to celebrate yet until the Ebola disease is sorted out in Liberia and Sierra Leone. The National Bureau of Statistics has released the Consumer Price Index for August, noting that the increase in the price of cereal has pushed up the country's inflation rate to 8.5%. The Consumer Price Index report noted that 8.5% recorded in August represents an increase of 0.2 percentage points over the 8.3% recorded in July. Since the decline of the headline index in January, prices continue to trend upwards at a slow pace, increasing by 0.1 percentage points between February and July. The report says food prices increased by 10%,
in August, marginally higher from 9.9% recorded in July. The highest price increase on a monthly basis recorded since July of 2013. The governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria, Godwin Emefiele, says the likely increase in aggregate spending in the run-up to the 2015 general elections are pressure points to monetary policy stability. Now, outside Nigeria, gunfire was heard from the area controlled by government forces in Ukraine despite rebel victories in the rest of the eastern city. Reports say the French violence is a big challenge to a fragile ceasefire agreed on the 5th of September. Ukrainian Prime Minister Arseniy Yatsenyuk has accused Russia of wanting to eliminate his country. He says Ukraine was in a stage of war, with the key aggressor being Russian. Yatsenyuk says the goal of Russian President Vladimir Putin is to take the entire Ukraine, adding that NATO was the only vehicle that could protect his country. Ukraine and Western countries accuse Russia of intervening on the side of pro-Russian rebels in eastern Ukraine. Russia has, however, denied this. Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov described as nonsense reports that Russia was intent on creating a buffer zone in eastern Ukraine. Russia, he says, wants Ukraine to be a prosperous, neutral and friendly country. He accused the U.S. of trying to use the crisis in Ukraine to break economic ties between the EU and Russia and force Europe to buy U.S. gas at a much higher price. U.S. Secretary of State John Kerry says Egypt has a key role to play in countering states militants in Iraq and Syria. Kerry made a statement in his visit to Cairo when he met Arab League chief Nabil al-Arabi and Egypt President Sisi as part of his campaign to form a broad coalition to tackle ISIS militants. He has already enlisted the support of 10 Arab states so far, but ruled out Iran joining the U.S.-led coalition. Arab countries to have signed up to the coalition are Egypt, Iraq, Jordan, Lebanon, Bahrain, Kuwait, Oman, Qatar, Saudi Arabia, and United Arab Emirates. Kerry says Egypt is on the front line of the fight against terrorism, particularly when it comes to fighting extremist groups in Sinai. He also acknowledged Egypt's reputation as intellectual and cultural capital of the Muslim world. And that wraps up the news on the hour. Please do join us on the primetime news at 9:45 p.m. I am Sabina Zoku, and for me and the news crew, we say many thanks.